Hello, you're watching the Crypto Roundup on Proactive. Billy Farrington joins me with all the latest news from the universe of virtual currencies. Billy, great to see you again. So, how has Bitcoin fared this week?
Hello, Stephen. Always a pleasure. Well, if we're looking at straight price action, it's been a bit less eventful this week, following a few weeks of quite a lot of intense volatility. I'm going to say it's resilient, if overall unimpressive. We're looking at Bitcoin down around 1.6% against the US dollar, which doesn't sound great, but it could have been a lot worse, in my opinion, given quite a lot of potential headwinds that have been blowing across the Bitcoin markets in recent times. Obviously, we've seen this Mount Gox redemptions, $9 billion of redemptions that have been held in escrow for the last decade. Following Mount Gox's collapse in 2015, it used to be this cryptocurrency exchange. $9 billion of Bitcoin was lost, and they've started to finally distribute it to these creditors over the last few weeks. They've whittled down their $9 billion in holdings to around $2 billion now. That potentially could have caused a lot of selling pressure should these creditors want to exit those Bitcoin possessions, but it looks like it might not be happening for the moment. So that hasn't necessarily caused a big fall in Bitcoin's price. Then on Thursday, obviously, we saw the Federal Reserve hold interest rates at 5.5%. That wasn't necessarily a surprise, but if there was a little cut, like a 0.25% cut, that would have been a good support for Bitcoin's price. That didn't happen, so that didn't eventuate into any sort of positive price catalyst. And tech stocks have been really mixed as well this week. Yeah, historically, there's been a bit of alignment with tech stocks and Bitcoin here and there. Microsoft, for instance, got its valuation was pummeled like $80 billion odd. Because it failed to deliver the moon on a stick in its earnings. I think the earnings were great, but it didn't deliver these AI supercharged cloud computing revenues that apparently that's all the market really cares about right now. So tech stocks, yeah, have taken a bit of a hit as well. But despite all this, Bitcoin has held pretty steady. As I said, it is down 1.6% against the US dollar, but holding pretty strong and resilient at around $64,500 as we speak.
Coinbase earnings came out on Thursday as well. Any surprises there, Billy?
hmm Yeah, so Coinbase being the Nasdaq listed cryptocurrency exchange, there were good results to be completely honest. Revenues more than doubled year on year to about $1.4 billion. Income flipped from a loss-making second quarter last year to about $38 million worth of profit this year. Coinbase more or less just hit all of its targets. It looked a bit worse quarter on quarter. If you look at quarter on quarter, trading volumes were down like 28%. At face value, you'd be like, well, that's not great. But obviously, given Bitcoin's infamous volatility, its volatile price, that greatly affects volumes at Coinbase, considering most of Coinbase volumes are Bitcoin, right? So quarter on quarter, obviously, it didn't look great, but the market looked at the longer view of things, rightfully so, and Coinbase's share price, it looks like it's going to knock up about a percentage point when markets open today. That said, it has been down a fair bit this week. So yeah, no surprises really on its earnings front, but they were good, right? But however, I found what I found more interesting was outside of Coinbase's core exchange, its core exchange offering, it's really going all in on its blockchain offering, its blockchain infrastructure offering. Now, it's developing this product called Base, which is basically a layer to blockchain where people can, develop blockchain applications on Coinbase's own blockchain called Base, right? And it's really interesting because quarter on quarter, Coinbase saw a 300% surge in the number of transactions being processed on its blockchain infrastructure, which is like really strong numbers. Now, what is the quality of these transactions? I don't know. It could be like a lot of wash trades and all that sort of thing going on. Who really knows? But it's really strong figures nonetheless. Coinbase is saying it's hoping to drive crypto utility with this new base offering, and really trying to improve the quality of applications and whatnot that are being developed on the blockchain. And it seems to be going pretty strong right now. And I'll be interested to see how well they can monetize that down the line. So that for me was the most interesting thing from those earnings.
So Donald Trump appeared at Bitcoin 2024 after all. What did he have to say, Billy?
Yeah, well, I really hope there was a lot of security there. Well, apparently so, because nothing crazy happened, right? So what did he say? He said a lot of firebrand things in typical Trump fashion. What a few nice little quotes. Obviously, he used it, as he always does, as a bit of a kind of partisan attack on the Democrats. He said the Biden-Harris administration's repression of crypto and Bitcoin is wrong and very bad for the country. If they win, they're going to come after you. They'll be vicious. They'll be ruthless. They will do things you wouldn't believe. I mean, typical Trump stuff. He said he wants to install the Bitcoin and Crypto Presidential Advisory Council. He says he wants to start buying Bitcoin and increasing Bitcoin's the Federal's reserve, the bank's reserve of Bitcoin. And you would think, like, oh, he also said he would fire Gary Gensler from the Securities and Exchange Commission, who's quite a well-known perma bear when it comes to cryptocurrency. So, you know, a really big pro Bitcoin push from Trump. Surprisingly, we didn't really see that push the price up to any great extent. Perhaps that means the market isn't buying what Trump is selling, but I'll leave you to determine whether that's true or not.
Or perhaps the market's not convinced he's going to win the election. Who knows?
Well, that too.
Billy, have a great weekend. Thanks as usual for your insights.
Yeah.
That's Proactive's Billy Farrington.